from Bhopal again.
Sir, am I audible, sir? Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Please go ahead. You are audible. Please go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Sunita. Our government declared by government 15th of May as a COVID care center. First center was the first in we are all at the COVID care center of 100 beds from Madhya Pradesh, and we are having at present 35 patients in our hospital. Sir, our asymptomatic today's my topic of this research is comparative effectiveness of pre-identified homeopathic medicines in asymptomatic COVID-19 individuals receiving standard treatment protocol, which was open label randomized placebo controlled trial. Next slide. As our hospital was declared on the 13th of May as a COVID care center, and we, with the help of Khurana sir and my principal S.K. Mishra ji, we were able to conduct some research in asymptomatic cases, as we thought, as we were distributing homeopathic medicine, that is arsenic album, for as a preventive. But when we saw that we have got a COVID care center in our hospital, and the medicines like arsenic album, which we declared as a prophylaxis also, and immune booster also. And besides that, the other medicines like Bryonia, 30, Camphora, other stalwarts, they all were being involved in the COVID treatments by other many of the places in India. So we have decided, with the help of CCRH, in collaboration with CCRH, we started with the research in asymptomatic cases, as why it is necessary to have a research or to do the study to check the asymptomatic cases, because they are these asymptomatic cases for the site for spreading the infections, and that has to be considerable concern for the public health policies in case of managing the epidemics and the pandemics like Corona, the SARS-CoV-2. Such in asymptomatic cases, we were not able to track, as we saw in our Bhopal also, the symptoms of the patients, the people are coming in contact, having a contact history, but as they are not having any kind of symptoms, they are spreading the infection to the other people. And some people, they were having some initial type of sore throat, fever like that, and slowly they are subsiding kind of thing, but these people were the site of spreading the infection. So we thought we have to, in asymptomatic cases, we have to see the results of our pre-identified homeopathic medicine. Next. History of IOS and the preparedness of, I said, in the preparedness of handling the COVID-19 in India, IOS system of medicines all were involved. The traditional all pathways were involved in preventing the spread of COVID-19. Arsenic album, as I said, we were distributing since March as the pandemic was declared by the WHO. And these camphora were also being used by some of the people, and they were showing the result that camphora is also working, Bryonia is working in this field. So we decided to do the research with the help of this arsenic album 30, Bryonia 30, and camphora 1M to see the effectiveness of these pre-identified homeopathic medicines, how these medicines are going to bring the positive patients, though they are having a mild symptom, because in our CCC, COVID care center, mild to mild asymptomatic moderate patients are admitted. So we thought how to see the results of these medicines. This is the chance for us to prove our homeopathic medicines in this pandemic. Next slide. This is the study site, is Government Homeopathic Medical College, Bhopal. On the 2nd of June, we started our research. The target sample that was 250 in each group, arsenic album 30, camphora 1M 30, bryonia 30, placebo, that is control, was 32. standard treatment protocol was given along with the homeopathic medicine, that is HCQ, hydroxychloroquine, twice a day, then vitamin C, multivitamin. This was the standard protocol which we had to follow during our research treatment. CTI registration, then next. We had all the primary objective of our research was to see the comparative effectiveness of three homeopathic medicines that, as we discussed, Camphora, Bryonia, arsenic album, in a individual cases, those who are coming to our CC with RT-PCR positive. Secondary object of our treatment was to compare time to become biological, what time length will be taken after giving our medicine along with the standard protocol, to see the time to become how the patients are getting virologically negative, because as the patient was coming to our CCC, at the baseline we used to have the RT-PCR, and according to the research protocol which was designed at 5th baseline, 5th day, 10th day, and after the discharge, if the patient is not negative, on the 15th day, we used to have a RT-PCR of the patient. And our second objectives are further to compare the time to appearance of the clinical symptoms in COVID-19 infection. By giving our homeopathic medicines, arsenic, Bryonia, and Camphora, we just wanted to compare along with the placebo controlled, how the individuals, after how many days the individuals are getting, those who are coming with a mild or no symptoms, totally asymptomatic cases, those which are enrolled with our research, at what time then they are going to become symptomatic. And this was our great achievement which we got in our research studies. And the next second objective was to compare the quality of life within the WHO Wellbeing Index. Next. Our inclusion-exclusion criteria was COVID-19 confirmed individuals who are asymptomatic at admission to CCC. The person, those who are admitted at the CCC and they are having no symptoms, according to our research protocol, after the screening, they have been enrolled after giving a written consent. Age 18 to 65 years of both sexes. Willing to sign written informed consent. The exclusion criteria are pregnant women or lactating women, immunocompromised persons, those who are having any kind of medical history, symptoms with any kind of symptoms if they are manifesting of the symptomatic COVID-19, then they were excluded from the study. Next. Research. Out of 360 patients, we have screened 366 patients, and out of this patient, 200 patients were found eligible as per the inclusion and exclusion criteria. The reason for inclusions were whether the reasons for inclusions were whether they are RT-PCR negative for COVID-19 at the time of baseline. When the patient was admitted to the CCC, after having a report, and then we used to do the test at the patients were enrolled, and 200 patients were enrolled, and 50 patients are randomly allocated to one of the four groups: arsenic album plus standard of care, that is the standard protocol, hydroxy, multivitamins, vitamin C, and this was given along with the arsenic album, camphor along with standard protocol, then again Bryonia alba 30 standard protocol, and placebo plus standard protocol, that is standard of care respectively. All the baseline characteristics were comparable with no difference between the groups. 12 patients that we'll see in the further slides. Next slide. These are the baseline characteristics. If you see the arsenic album, camphora, Bryonia, placebo, you'll see the age group. The age group between the age group was taken. Gender, usually the age group was between 18 to 45 years of age was there. The male show and number of days for the first sample testing, that was on an average that was the 3 days which were selected for the accordingly in the arsenic group in camphor.
We have lost our voice. हाँ जी सुनीता, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ पा रही है,
And
अचानक से बंद रही है.
these are the baseline all baseline characteristics. Next slide. Next. Please share the next slide.
I shared the outcome slide.
Yeah.
The unit is there. Next slide. So in outcomes, we'll see in the arsenic album group, the number of patients with in arsenic 44 of the 50 they got. In camphora group, we'll find the 80% get negative RTP is a negative, and Bryonia, you'll see in the similar way the Bryonia was said to be in all the PCR was getting negative of arsenic album. You'll see the 13 and again 13 depending upon the and predict all this data arsenic group in the camphora group and in the brine. And diarrhea, chilliness, other symptoms which were related to the COVID corona symptoms were as per in the data it is.
Anyway, for the
Next.
audience, our
Index.
abstract is available at page number 20.
Hello.
Our abstract of Dr. Sunita Tomar is available at page number 20
Hello.
of the abstract. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
See the baseline in the base quality of the quality, the WHO in the WHO quality index. You can see in the previous slide, you will see in the baseline, and that's the thing we are seeing in the slides, the baseline slide and the outcome slides of WHO index. The next is the status of RT-PCR becoming negative. This is the graphical representation which is showing that arsenic album and that is 50 the group of arsenic patients. The maximum we see on 50 days they become negative RT-PCR. Viral load was negative. In camphora cases we will find in camphora we are saying the 24 cases. In the next, on 10th day, you see the 24 in Bryonia groups are found to be negative. So in overall in our CCC, what we saw in the research, that is the 200 enrolled people, the Bryonia was the medicine which came up which are having a good result in RT-PCR. The number of patients that got negative, maximum number of patients from Bryonia group, they got RT-PCR negative on 7th day. And further, the length of the symptom appearance also we see in comparatively in the Bryonia group is
Dr. Sunita? Dr. Sunita?
having a good presentation. Next.
Dr. Sunita? And Dr. Sunita? Hello? Dr. Sunita? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, I am audible, sir.
हाँ सुनीता, आपका ना पूरा आवाज नहीं आ रही है, तो आप अपनी स्लाइड बंद करके सिर्फ वीडियो करके आप अपनी पूरी बात जो कंक्लूड करना है आप बताइए, चारों में से कौन सी दवाई सबसे बेस्ट रही?
Sir, the Bryonia was the medicine. Bryonia.
आपके यहाँ बेटा कनेक्शन सही नहीं है, ऐसा लग रहा है।
That was in overall for the group Bryonia.
मैम आप अपना कैमरा ऑफ कर दीजिए तो आपकी बैंडविड्थ बढ़ जाएगा। तो आप बोलिए सिर्फ मैम आप अपना कैमरा बंद कर दीजिए।
हाँ सुनीता, एनीवे आप अच्छा स्लाइड आप चला रहे हैं? ओके, तो आप अपना कैमरा बंद करके अगर आप देख पा रही हैं तो आप कंक्लूजन में भी बताएं कि ब्राइनिया नहीं, ब्राइनिया मतलब ब्राइनिया इज द आउटकम मेनली आउट ऑफ 4। ओके ओके, अभी आपको हम डिस्कशन के वक्त लेते हैं ऑन बोर्ड, ठीक है? तो बी रेडी, विल टेक यू फॉर डिस्कशन। थैंक यू सुनीता, यू आर डूइंग वंडरफुल जॉब। Now I invite my co-chairman, Dr. Patil, to kindly comment on these 4 online papers. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Dr. Patil and Kalpam of this so everything hearing was very interesting. And the way CR is going, heading towards more progress is the best. The calling line is Dr. B.N. Singh, Dr. Manchanda, and they have presented very nicely what is homeopathy about and their views. The most important is integration. Integration, Dr. Anil Khurana said very nicely, and Dr. Ghavre said in autism he showed an example. So integration has to be in a proper way. I would like to just, before going to that, in 2 minutes time, I want to share what is the real integration. Can I share with you? Can you see my slide? Yes. I think I would show you this case, particularly a severe case of lung fibrosis. It will take 2 minutes. Which was almost, if you see particularly, the CRP was 35. He was into the post-COVID phase, 1 month in the ICU. He was just coming down and coming up, coming down and coming up, was not getting discharged. Once he got discharged, in 2 days again back to the ICU. And it was a horrible time for the family as well as doctors were saying. And the CT score was 25 by 25. Full allopathic treatment was going on. And this particular case is from Hyderabad. He came to me and see his X-ray. After the allopathy was not showing further, it had a limitation not showing further progress. You see the change in the X-ray from here to here, and you see his SpO2 on 50% oxygen even after 1 month of COVID. It was 94, and it was to drop down when the oxygen is to stop to 80. And then on 24th November after starting, you can see from SpO2 became 98 within 1 or 2 days time. And 25th November, it was 40%, 97. Then on 10 liters, 97. And then on 2nd December, it was 3 liters and 95. 15th December, 2 liters. But because we reduced from 3 to 2, 96. And finally, he went from 97 just 1 liter of oxygen. So this was an integrated approach with homeopathy, allopathic medicines, that is baseline diabetes, hypertension was going on, and with that pranayam, yoga, meditation was also taken care of. And if you see next, he was fine and now he is much better. Now this patient would have lost life if the integrated system would not have been involved. And Dr. Anil Khurana said very nicely that this is an important thing, that integration is a need of time. Now coming to the other speakers who have said about what the effectiveness of arsenic album as a prophylactic. In my experience, way back in March when I tried on 100 battalion police force, 2 battalions, only one was getting affected by COVID positive, other battalion there were 27 positive. So it was just an incidental finding which now led to a very good paper presentation in CCRH that arsenic is very effective. And I read one article of CCRH that how arsenic improves the immunity markers to give the success rate in preventing. Only it was now one of the paper, it was 80%. I would say 100%, and 80% was a rightly projected thing, and it was working just like the vaccination, like that we are getting this effect. But without any side effect, people were protected. Now you see sudden rise second wave. It is longer and steeper first wave. Shows that this our enthusiasm for arsenic is gone, and therefore we should see that this particular arsenic album should again be restarted, looking at whatever the serial studies CCRH has done, and one of the presenters, I forgot his name, he has given very nicely the effectivity of arsenic album, and I think it should be started. That's, Dr. B.N. Singh said about vaccination. Vaccination part is an arsenic album. Now the first dose of the COVID, second dose of people are suffering. These can be selected properly by doing CRP test, CD4 count, and IgE levels total to see whether they are susceptible to this vaccination effect. Otherwise, public will have bad impression about vaccination. And vaccination is important, but at the same time, the side effects should be curtailed down. And here again, the integration of homeopathy with vaccination will take care of this side effects of the vaccination, because in my cases who have taken vaccination and they started suffering, immediate prescription of homeopathy brought down all the things together down, and they were fine in 2 days' time. Otherwise, they would have extended to the more severe cases, and then vaccination gets a bad name. So, third point that was integration of all the sciences together, which needs allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, Unani, yoga, meditation, acupuncture, and education. All these sciences have framed one system which I had presented to our Maharashtra Task Force. I am a member of Maharashtra Task Force under leadership of Dr. Padma Shri, Dr. Lahane and Dr. Kohli, and the active participant Dr. Ashti Katke. Wonderful 2 advisories have been put in, and where in Maharashtra the things would have been very worse. It was in control because of the Ayush medications. But now you see the Ayush things has taken a back seat. There is no distribution of the Ayush medicines, and you see the steep rise. Now this is a correlation by observation, and that needs to be proved by a study that yes, this was there, and we should learn from the observations and the mistakes. Then coming to the scientific sessions of Dr. Dev Datta, the resistance from the system to cooperate was a very important thing, and that we need to work at the administrative level. Even my research project was rejected. It had been, I got all the CTRI clearance and ethical committee clearance, even being the member of Ayush Task Force. Dr. Anil Khurana supported me from start to beginning to end. Everything he has supported. Still then Maharashtra Health Secretary rejected it because said how with homeopathy people will die, what will happen? I said, sir, people are dying anyway. Unless and until we have to prove, you say homeopathy you have to prove. But if you don't allow us to prove how homeopathy will come up and how homeopathy will people will be accepting that at second time, then you should not blame homeopathy is not doing research. So it was really a good thing that he has pointed that we must have something that wherever we are getting a hitch from the higher authorities, we should get our projects cleared. Otherwise, from March I am trying till today, it is not been clear. So, Dr. Bipin Jethani said about the retrospective study. The milder infections in the younger and moderate infections in the mid-age, that is very right. But what is more important is the moderate age group, and that needs to be prevented. Provided first, when the asymptomatic patient comes, you have to give medicines so that he doesn't land into the problem. Now, we have also seen in the scientific session that if we treat earlier, then the immunity doesn't develop. I agree, fever should not be treated with paracetamol unless it crosses 2.4 because fever stimulates the bone marrow and it puts a heat protein on the virus to be identified by the macrophages and killed. So if you bring down the fever, this viral load increases, and that is what is the importance of fever. So fever should not be treated aggressively for 9900. If I have seen that patient whom I have allowed fever to settle down in 24 hours, they are doing much better without any complications. So there is an integration of homeopathy with this thing, and that needs to be controlled very properly with the homeopathic interference. Then coming to the Dr. Juhil Gupta, that has started medicine when moderate symptoms, even was paracetamol was not given, only azithromycin was given in reference to this which I have talked now. Now azithromycin, doxycycline, ivermectin, ICMR studies have showed has no results, no role, but still they are prescribed. So it was given azithromycin in Dr. Juhil Gupta's case studies can be just taken as a placebo and not effect of any erythromycin. And we can then say, because even Dr. Zalil Utwadi was a pulmonologist, he was my classmate, and he had given a very good video, what is working and what not working, what to be seen. There he has clearly mentioned that in some cases, not all cases, remdesivir is working, but primarily steroid is working. But steroids when used initially has given rise to viral replication because you are taking suppressing the immune system, and only when the viremia or the fever stage goes, that time it is more working, and after viremia the second fever stage comes as an inflammatory fever, and we always mistake it with a viral fever and inflammatory fever. So you have to select cases into that category. Unfortunately, we were allowed only to do in such all these paper presentations only mild to moderate cases, not below 90 oxygen. The real challenge is below 90 because many times it is said after 90, so many patients even staying at home, they get well. Now I have got one patient who has got 80 oxygen with no oxygen supply, not getting bed in the hospital, and he is trying hard for last 3 days. He is trying, he is still under my treatment, and now he has come to 95 with bryonia and T-card. Now see, bryonia is the first stage medicine that is working, but once the pneumonia sets in, that is in the second stage of pneumonia, bryonia doesn't work and their anti-card works. So we need to take study with this differentiation what anti-card would help in the second stage. For that we need to have permissions to carry out the integrated approach along with allopathy. And third is the severe stage where the oxygen has fallen down to 40, 60, and they is in the ICU, where I have used abrotanum as a and Protalus horridus when B-dimer is high and ferrophos when ferritin is high based on the clinical, because in that particular stage, patient on ventilator, you do not have any history of individualization, and there it has shown drastic reduction in 24 hours time. So 50% of these parameters which were high had come down. and patient was brought to the side room in second day itself. It was a surprising thing that how, so we have to divide stages, first stage, second stage and third stage, and accordingly the homeopathic research when we produce in this form of way, and what Dr. Rajiv Shankar rightly said has to be put into the Lancet. More than this are pulmonary cases, so Indian Chest Society magazine of India as well as pulmonary medicines from Europe, that where if you put such cases, then definitely we will get a plus point, and they it's very strictly peer reviewed. There are a lot of criticism, but if we pass all that thing, then no one will have a word to say that homeopathy doesn't work. Then coming to the systems, symptom is a language. Symptom is a language of the body. So every individualization, there is a definite change that exactly happens in physiology and immunology, and therefore we get a characteristic symptoms. So now when we are doing a research and everything, there we need to take this symptom, individualized characteristics, PQRS symptom, should be matched with what are the exact changes that is happening at immunological and physiological, because we get good results when totality is matching, but we get partial result when totality is not matching. There the role of complementary follows well, and other remedies that come, that similar remedies come into the picture. And therefore, in such type of severe cases that I have handled, I have seen that one single remedy doesn't work. So it has to be interpolated with follows well complementary remedies that are exactly matching the pathology. Like in COVID, vasculitis, thrombosis is the main thing. Because of that, people are dying. So the inflammation of blood vessels, what there is a rubric, thrombosis, there is a rubric. You take a help of that. Don't prescribe directly on pathology, but what symptoms exactly are matching. If you do that, then we would get the best results. Then coming to the overall presentation of all the scientific papers was really good, but it needs to be more improved in a way where we can accept it, we can say because we are a homeopath, but this same thing has to be projected and put in front of the scientific world, where if they see everything, there are a lot of questions that are raised, and that therefore we should be very, very particular in carrying out the research in this direction. The efforts done by all the scientists who have presented paper is really good. It is with that much of resistance, this much is produced, is really creditable, and therefore we must have a proper forum also to support those who are really interested by giving the active participation, following up the cases. There has to be committee. Like I was only moving alone and Dr. Kurana was helping me, but from other side there was no help, and therefore the things could not work out. Now being a pulmonologist, it would have been a much better even if they would have allowed me to handle the ICU cases. I was ready for that. Even though I am 60 plus, I said, okay, I'll take a risk because arsenic is protecting me. I am very confident about it because I have seen. But where arsenic is not protecting, where we are not taking care of antidotes like chocolate, coffee, other medicines which go on, Ayurveda and this, the efficacy of arsenic comes down. Same way, the integration will require with allopathy how the things like when I was in my own ICU, I have treated with myocardial infarction where patient used to have a 10 days, 14 days stay in the hospital, 4 or 5 days in the ICU with just one arnica and cactus tea without individualization. The third day patient was in my room. Fourth day when we did a cardiac efficiency test, he was passing and he can go home. Fifth day, myocardial infarction getting discharged from my hospital was really a very, very encouraging and rewarding of integrating homeopathy with allopathy. Second is, I myself suffered from the appendicitis. Now I'm talking of cervical. And that time I was not knowing very well the homeopathy. I called Dr. Vijayakar and he said to take Abrotenol 200. I was vomiting with my sonography, my surgeon who was my teacher also, he said, you have to, otherwise appendix will burst. But 3 doses of Abrotenol 200 brought me to normalcy within 1 hour. Now who says homeopathy is slow? So now see these type of things are there. Now fourth, when I suffered from ureteric colic, it was so severe that with ureteritis and peritonitis, even you touch my abdomen, it used to get like this. And I was persistently vomiting. I tried 4, 5, 6 remedies, nothing was working. And finally, my wife said, you got angry yesterday, so she gave me Chamomilla, I slept. But in the morning again when I got up, there was an inflammation and the urologist gave, here's my friend, I am taking you to ICU. I said, give me 3 hours. If I am not fine in 3 hours, I will be going to ICU.
Thank you.
Just 3 doses of Abrotenol. So I have learned Abrotenol is for inflammation and particularly I am sick. The Abrotenol is much. And therefore, I have to have the proper way of utilizing this in a clinical and scientific format that you can definitely get a way out. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patil, for your comments on all the papers and your own personal experiences in very surgical cases. If I look at it, your qualifications, you are in a way, in real sense, a physician that practices integrative medicine. You have advantage that you can legally practice this kind of integrated medicine. So now I invite Dr. Subhash Chaudhary, and along with me, Dr. Khurana has also joined as chair because in another half an hour I have to leave for our evening program. So I request Dr. Subhash Chaudhary to be on stage.